guys, so check it out. We've got some chicken here. This is leftover roast chicken I made the other night, and shockingly, we didn't eat it all. That typically happens when I make a nice big bird. There's actually enough left over here. I'm going to have a little bit of chicken for lunch, but with a bunch of this chicken, certainly with the bones, we're going to go ahead and make a quick chicken soup. I've also got some leftover wild rice, so we're going to make a chicken and wild rice soup. Really easy to do, and absolutely delicious, spectacular way to use leftovers. If you don't have rice, go ahead and use pasta, use whatever you want. Really easy to do. First thing I'm going to do is just pick off a bunch of the big pieces of chicken. Now this is already cooked, right? So we don't need to cook it a long time in the broth as we make the chicken. What I really want is the bones, because we're going to take the bones. Still going to be some meat on the bones. We're going to cook them off with a little chicken stock to kind of soup up the chicken flavor in the chicken stock that we bought. So go ahead, break the chicken apart, pull off the big pieces of meat that you're either going to, like I said, have for lunch, or that you want as the bites of chicken in our soup. Okay guys, so I've picked most of the chicken meat off of our chicken bones, already cooked. And I got a pot that I just put on the flame. You also want to kind of get rid of the skin or any big fatty parts if you can easily pull it off. And we're just going to throw our bones, again there's a little bit of meat still on there, into our pan over medium heat, or our pot over medium heat. And then I've got some chicken stock, which I'm going to add. This is a full, I don't know, what is it, a quart? 32 ounces? I don't know if that's a quart or not. But I'm going to cover it, cover the bones with the chicken stock. I'm going to bring this to a light simmer. I could even add a little bit more water in there to get a little more soup stock, and kind of get it all the way up. I'd say covering the bones 2 or 3 inches, I think is absolutely perfect. Now let this simmer for about an hour. You know, it could go longer. We're really just looking to extract the flavor out of these bones. Alright, so I got my stock over here. It's been simmering for about half an hour. I'm going to go for another half an hour or so. And over here I just put another pan. This is going to be my soup on medium heat. You can even go low, and then a little bit of olive oil. I've got 2 garlic cloves, an onion, and a carrot. My carrot was kind of small. You could certainly go with more. You can also, you vary proportions as much as you want. Not a big deal. If you love carrots, use 2 carrots, use 3 carrots. Doesn't really matter. But you do want some of that onion in there, some of that garlic in there. Carrot gives the soup a nice color. We're going to get those in, and we're just going to cook them down until they're wilted, the onions become translucent. We don't want any browning on them, which is why I'm using essentially a relatively cool pan, low to medium heat. We'll keep this guy from boiling too hard over here. And this is probably going to take about 15 minutes or so. Okay, let's keep going on our soup. I threw a lid on our onions and carrots. Again, just helps to keep them from getting brown. And the onions are nice, translucent, they're soft there. The carrots are just about soft. I'm going to add a pinch of thyme. If you got fresh thyme, even better. I like herbs in there. You can use rosemary, you can use oregano, any of that is going to be great. I put a little salt in there as well. So here we've got our chicken broth that's been going for about an hour. I'm going to take this, I got a little strainer here. You don't have to do it obviously over the pot, maybe do it over the sink, a little bit safer. But we want to make sure we don't get any bones in there. Or maybe I'll do it this way for you. And we get all those bones and all that yummy broth into our pot. Another way to make sure you don't overflow is obviously do it over the sink. Bones now, they've done their job. That meat, it's going to be overcooked, so I wouldn't necessarily use that meat. And then I'm just going to let this simmer, for another 15 or so minutes before we add our chicken, because again, the chicken's already cooked. And I just want those onions to kind of release all their flavors, and I don't want to overcook the chicken. So we're going to let this go, like I said, 10 or 15 minutes, just light simmer. Okay guys, so we had our 10 minutes or so. Again, times aren't exact, it's not a big deal. We're going to add all that pulled chicken, already cooked. So really, we're just kind of heating it through. Loosen the chicken fibers, the meat in there a little bit. And then I've got some leftover rice. If you want to throw in a little bit of cooked pasta, some spaghetti or some bow ties, whatever you want, you can do that as well. And really we're just, again, letting all that stuff come up to room temperature. You know, now would be a good time to maybe taste the soup and see if it needs any salt, but this one doesn't. I think that's perfect as is. So I'm just going to let this, again, we'll come up to temp, 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll serve us up a bowl. All right, so it's time to plate up our delicious, nutritious, homemade chicken and rice soup. Like I said, you can be really flexible on this. It's a great way to use that leftover chicken. If you want to use pasta, whatever, throw it in there. It's great. And obviously, you can do this with turkey as well for Thanksgiving soups. You're gonna love it. And I will see you next time on No Recipe Required. Alright, I hope you love this homemade chicken, rice, wild rice soup. It was really easy to make, really fun to make, and of course I loved it, my family loved it. You're going to love it too. Hey, I'm going to put up a link here to my roast chicken, how to roast chicken. You got to get the chicken in the first place to make the soup, so go ahead, check that out. Really easy to do again, great meal. And if chicken and rice soup is not your thing, you want to make something a little more spicy, exotic, here's a link to my chicken tortilla soup. Really great, a lot of the same techniques. You're gonna love this one as well. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.